Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorials brought to you by Photoshop Elements Custom Tutorials Group. And let's jump right into today's poster. I wanted to know how to lighten up this image and how to delete the background to leave it as a PNG. So let's get started. First of all, we have to notice that this image is not very high quality. And you can tell, watch as you zoom in and look at those edges, how jaggedy and faded those edges are. So this isn't going to be as simple as just using the contrast, because the contrast is not going to know what to do. So we have to do one step before that, especially because this gray is so close to the white in the tone. So let's create a newer contrast of this image by going over to Filter. Oh, actually, first let's choose the layer to work on. Then we go to Filter, to Adjustments, and over here to Invert. What this is going to do is this is going to make everything that's light dark and everything that's dark light. As soon as I hit that, boom, look at that. But it didn't make the middle gray portion light enough. So now we can take that and make it lighter by going to Enhance, go to Lighting, go to Brightness and Contrast. I'll left click on that, and now we can actually totally adjust this to what we want. So what we want to do is make this center more contrasty and brighter. Now, because the background is black, it's not going to affect that. So if I go less contrast, if I go higher contrast, that's going to make the contrast super high. But we're not going to see it until we make the brightness a lot brighter. So watch what happens as we make the brightness brighter. There we go. We can make the image to any brightness we want. I'm going to make it pure white because we can change that later. I'm going to hit OK. And now we can do whatever we want with this image. Let's go ahead and get rid of the background. What I'm going to do is grab the eraser over here and come down here. Instead of the standard eraser, I'm going to grab the eraser with the yellow star. And right now the tolerance is set to 5. And what happens is that's too low. If we zoom in and look at what's going on and try to erase this with a tolerance of 5, we're going to choose the layer again and try to erase the black. We left click on it and look what happens. It did erase the black, but it left a bunch of black along the white edges. Why? Because the image is so faded on the edges. But we can help that a little bit by bringing this tolerance up. I'm going to hit Control Z to undo what I just did and change this tolerance. I don't know, let's try 100% of tolerance, and that's going to make sure that it gets rid of all this black with that eraser. So when I left click on this black, boom, it got rid of all that. No matter how far I zoom in, there's very little black left. So now we could take these extra portions right here and erase that, and erase that. And now we got that image on its own in a white shaded color. Now if we wanted to change that bright white to a darker shade, we can always choose the image, go up to Enhance, Lighting, Brightness and Contrast, and we could just take the brightness down to any shade we want or bring it all the way back up. Now if we wanted to change its color altogether, it's a little bit harder because we'd have to first pick a color. Because it's pure white, we can't go to the hues and change it. It will not change it. So we'd have to go over here to Color, left click on that, and let's just choose a random color of, let's say, light blue. I'll hit OK. You literally have to take the paint bucket and bring this tolerance to, like, let's say 75, and you'd have to drop it into every single portion of this image. Allows us to then be able to change it to any other color. Now that it's been colorized, then we can go to Enhance, Adjust Color, and then Adjust Hue and Saturation. And what you can do here is change the hue with the left mouse button to any other hue that we like. Look at that, nice and colorful. And also conversely with that, what we can do is bring the lightness all the way down, making it black. I'll hit OK. And what I want to do is fill in the background temporarily again. So I'll hit the magic wand up here. I'm going to go ahead and magic wand the whole thing here. And now that we've chosen all the portions of the background, I'm going to create a new blank layer right here and go ahead and fill in with a white colored background. And with the paint bucket, I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Fill this in, and this in. I can turn off the black background or the original layer here, and that's actually the foreground. I'll hit Control D to deselect, and now we have an outline of the whole thing. What does that allow us to do? Well, let's bring in a new layer. I'm going to go to the photo bin, and I just happen to have a colorful layer in a different project right here called blue to green PNG. I'm going to bring that in right here. It's really small, but that's okay. We'll just drag it bigger like that. Drag it bigger over here. Let's drag the right to pass beyond the image and the left right there. And there we go. How does that look? That was a joke, just kidding. Let's bring the layer to the reverse, to the bottom layer. So let's pull that top layer below our white matte, and what it does is it puts it behind the image. I can turn that on and off, and you can see what's happening. So no matter what we put in that background, it will change back there. See that? I'm moving that whole background color to make the image whatever color we want. And that's all there is. Hey, this is the end of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Rich, calling it quits for this tutorial, saying over and out.